everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. All right, today's topic is how to spot the covert narcissist. How to spot that covert narcissist. Now, to get us started, I did pull a short video. Let's watch this video, and then we're going to dive right into this topic. How to spot a covert narcissist. Here we go.
All right, want some more older sister advice? Here's how to spot a covert narcissist. These people are your friends, your parents, your partners, your first date. They can be anyone and anywhere, but it's cool because I'm going to teach you how to spot them. Number one, they will ruin any event that you are excited about. Birthdays, dinners, concerts, it doesn't matter. If you are looking forward to it, they will find a way to ruin it. Right before you go out, they will start a fight. They will have a breakdown. There will be some sort of emergency that they create. This is deliberate. They're training you like a dog through conditioning until you start to associate things like having friends, making plans, going out with really negative emotions like fear, anxiety, stress, sadness, until you learn through repetition so that next time your friend invites you out for dinner, you think, maybe I shouldn't. Because remember how horrible last time was? I cried all night. We fought for hours. Maybe I should stop seeing my friends. Maybe I should stop doing my hobbies. Maybe I should shrink myself down in order to be safe. The second someone starts behaving that way, run.
Okay, now you see what she said. Now let me give you 5 solid ways that you can detect your covert narcissist. Okay, number 1, they always playing the victim. You know, my last relationship was with a covert narcissist, and he was the victim. And I think that's how he got me because I'm more of a nurturer. Well, if I find a little bird with a broken feather, then I want to be able to try to fix him and heal him up. And that's what I was doing with him, trying to fix him and heal him up until I realized that he was working with a demon. So it was nothing I can do about it, but I realized that in hindsight. Okay? All right. So they always playing the victim. They'll say things like, after all I've done for you, now you're going to abandon me? You know, they're always in need. They twist guilt to keep you emotionally linked. Now, this covert narcissist, even when they do something and they know that they're at fault, they try to turn it around to make you feel like you should be at fault. It was your fault that this happened. Even if they try to turn it around and say, it's because of the way that you treated me, and that's why I did what I did. Things like that. They're always able to play the victim, and you'll be the one responsible. They give backhanded compliments. You know, my narcissist was always giving me backhanded compliments. Always. You know, they'll say stuff like, for someone your age, then they'll say something, but it's a backhanded compliment. If they say, you look good in that dress, if you only, they'll go back to something like that. They never just give you a compliment and be happy for you because they're not trying to make you happy. They're trying to drain you of your energy and resources. And it's always about them. So see, this way, when they're always playing the victim, it puts you on, it always puts you in the position as trying to help them, trying to save them. You know, when I was with the narcissist, I always looked at it like, he too needy. And I didn't like that, always needy. But that was part of him being a narcissist. And I didn't realize that at the time. So if you're with a man who just needs you for everything, he can't do anything for himself, then you need to leave him. And I'll tell you anything for himself because when I first started dating him, he was on this job that he probably couldn't do. So when it came down to the reports and all that, he put them in my lap. And this was like confidential information that only his eyes are supposed to see. And here he has got me doing the work. Things like that. That's a narcissist. They play the helpless victim all the time. All right. Let's see this. Here's another backhanded compliment. I wish I had as much free time as you do to work out. So what is that? They won't insult you outright. Instead, it's disguised as concern or humor. He was always doing that. And you know, with these backhanded compliments, you feel it. You feel a little bit insulted. You don't know if you should be insulted, but you feel like, I think he just insulted me. You understand? All right. They have a fragile ego. Very fragile. They cannot take criticism of any kind. It shatters them. And if you ever find them out to expose them, they will leave you. They don't want to be exposed. See, their whole persona is to be hidden in the shadows. That's how they can do their best work, when they're hidden in the shadows. And that's why they are the most dangerous, because it's hard to detect them. But I'll tell you one way that I would be alarmed about. You know, like when you go to gatherings and you may see a guy way back in the corner. He just standing there by himself, just looking at everybody. And you probably think, oh, well, you know, he's shy or something like that. He could be a covert narcissist, because that's how they work. They go deep into the shadows. And, you know, they'll reel a woman in to that. And then you feel like you got caught in a trap. But yeah, that's the way they hunt, way back in the dark. And then they pretend to be very nice, sweet, but needy. Okay? They might appear soft-spoken, shy, but they crave validation, just like the overt narcissist. So they crave as much attention and admiration as the overt narcissist, but they use people in a different way. Because for them, you know, they're needy and they're helpless. They always act like, you know, I'm a nice guy, but, you know, I don't know why people treated me this way and why they do me like this and things like that. That's just a facade. They'll fish for compliments by putting themselves down. Yeah, so, you know, when I was with the narcissist, he was always asking me, how does this look? Fine. But he was wanting more than that. I just said, fine. You sure? You know, why? I didn't ask him, how does this look? When I put it on, I feel like it looks okay. You understand? But that's the way he was, very needy in every aspect. If you don't reassure them, they withdraw and sulk. They can't handle criticism, even the mild kind. They sure can't. So when they ask you, how does this look? Don't criticize anything or you have an issue. See, one thing about this covert narcissist is that he holds a grudge and you don't know it. You think it's over with. You said something and he's got a little offended by it. He's going to come back and pay you back for that in a very hurtful way. Okay? They're very revengeful. So just be careful. But see, they're like snakes. They move quietly. You don't see them coming. You don't even see them when they're about to strike. But when they strike you, you feel it. You feel it. They use emotional manipulation instead of aggression. Yeah, he was not aggressive. You know, I know one time he grabbed me by my arm and I said, don't manhandle me. I said, you might get hurt. And so he never did that again. You know, they know who to mess with. They really do. So I really don't think that the narcissist is a violent creature. I really don't think that. I think when they roll over to the sociopath, then that's where the violence come in, and the psychopath. That's the violent areas. But usually with the narcissist, they hurt you with manipulation, gaslighting, manipulation, that kind of thing. And all kind of abuse, verbal abuse. They'll do things like that, but they're not violent, physically violent with you. Not usually. This passive aggressive control keeps you walking on eggshells, trying to fix things without realizing you're being manipulated. He had me on that one. He had me, and he's living in my house, and he had me walking on eggshells. I told him, you got me walking on eggshells around here, and this is my house. You see what I'm saying? But I didn't realize what I was dealing with when I was dealing with it. And so hopefully, ladies, when you spot these things, then you say, I see. And hopefully you can spot these things early in your relationship. All right, because the longer that you're in it, the more detrimental to you it will be. They give you the silent treatment. They give you the silent treatment. Withdraw affection and act wounded to punish you. You see? He'll do that. Yeah, so they don't, they very rarely will lose their tempers, and that's not really them being all that aggressive energy. But they will retreat and come at you another way. Okay? Because they never forget an injury. You can bank on that one. They may act empathetic when it benefits them, but it's not genuine. They mirror their emotions to seem understanding. But when you need real emotional support, they're cold and dismissive. Over time, you'll feel unseen and emotionally drained, where you realize that these narcissists are energy vampires, and they're sucking your energy along with their resources the whole time they're with you. That's the whole point. That's how they survive. You see, without that, they can't survive. And see, the thing is, when they get older and they can't be around people that gives them that energy, especially if they don't have a spouse that's kind of stuck with them. But if they wind up alone, they'll wither away. Because that demon cannot survive without supply. So if the vessel is not able to secure supply, the demon will leave the vessel and leave this empty shell who cannot manage for himself, because so long in his life, the demon has been in control. So they don't have to do it. They don't know how to do anything at all. They're just there. That's it. But hopefully you won't be with a narcissist that long. But just know that the covert narcissist will come off as a nice, decent guy. A decent guy. But he may not own anything. He may have terrible credit. You understand? That's why he needs you. Because maybe you have a home, maybe you have a nice car, maybe you have a bank account, maybe you have credit, everything that the narcissist does not have. Now, the overt narcissist, he may have all that, but the covert narcissist that I've come in contact with didn't have it. Didn't have anything, but pretended. Tried to pretend that he had something. You see, and the whole thing about it is when you meet them, they're usually rolling off another relationship. They're just ending another relationship if it's ended already. But he's looking for new supply. Okay? Now, this is the thing about that narcissist. He will seek supply even if he's with his main supply, because of the variety. And he can never be without supply. So if his main supply, goes out of town or goes on a trip or something, he cannot be without supply. So he goes to his other people. And when he wants a variety, he'll go to his other supply. So the narcissist is never without supply. So if you're with a narcissist, you can just about bank that he's cheating on you. Okay? And some of them have outside children that you don't even know about. They're not going to tell you, these demons not going to tell you anything. And his family, who are usually flying monkeys, they're not going to tell you anything either. They know his track record, but they're not going to say a word to you. They're going to let you find out the hard way. You be careful. If you're with someone and your intuition starts bothering you about them, listen to it. Listen to it. Even if you need to go somewhere and meditate on it, listen to it. Your intuition will never fail you. And don't let your ego tell you different, because your ego will be the one that tells you, oh, you being silly. He's a nice guy and he likes you, and that's your ego. That's not your intuition. Your intuition is saying, be careful. But it's saying it in a quiet voice. It's your ego that's loud. Quiet, but be careful. You understand? When I was with the narcissist, I got a lot of intuition in the beginning. But because I wanted to be in a relationship, and I felt like he was trying, and I thought that was okay. He was trying to be something, you see, but I didn't realize that was all just a play. One big illusion that he's created to get me in his web. Come to find out, he wasn't trying anything. Trying to get over, you see? And with me, I started waking up in the end. I started waking up. And he had already secured another supply toward the end, because I could already see that he cut me off. He stopped talking to me when we were in the same room. He was always in his phone, never looked at me, never spoke to me. He was just there. And, you know, to have somebody living in your home that's treating you like that, no, don't put up with it. And I did. That's what I'm telling you. Don't put up with it. If a man is living in your home and he's treating you like you're the strange one, he needs to go. He needs to go. And see, when this narcissist was here, he wasn't paying for my bills. I was paying my own bills. You understand? I always have. So when he up and left, I wasn't hurting. He was hoping I would be, because when he was here, he tried to get me to sell my house and buy another house with him. You know what kind of a disaster that would have been? I would be in the street. But he did get me on a car. He decided that us being together, and we hadn't even been together, we had dated for 4 years. And the dating, you don't get to know that much about them because you only see them periodically. We didn't live in the same town, so we only got together on the weekends. And that was maybe one day, you know, I would come down, or he would come on a Saturday, and then Sunday you'll be going home. So how you get to know somebody like that? You don't. I didn't know him. We were just having a good time together, I thought, until the end, when he got very, very shaky. And then he pressured me to move in. And I didn't really want that. But tell you the truth, I don't know why I went along with it. Maybe it's because I had a soul tie with him. And it just made me feel like, well, maybe it can't be that bad. But it was. That's how it can't be that bad. But believe me, it was. What they come in and try to do is take over your environment to suit them. To suit them. I know when he came here, see, I'm like an open air kind of person. So my windows are open. I like to be able to look outside. But when he came here, he didn't want to look outside. So he convinced me to put film on all my windows. You could see out, but nobody could see in. I guess that's what it was. He didn't want anybody to see him in here. Not that he was doing anything here that I thought. But all right, I complied with that. And of course, when he left, I ripped down all that crap. But These are the changes that a covert narcissist will take you through. He'll want to move in, and then he'll want to change your environment to suit him. And I believe all of that is manipulation and control. Okay? So be careful of the covert narcissist. Now, I think I gave you five ways to spot them, and let me summarize them real quick. They play the victim. That's number one. Number two, they give backhanded compliments. Number three, they have a fragile ego. They can't take no criticism. Number four, they use emotional manipulation instead of aggression. They use emotional manipulation instead of aggression. And number five, they lack true empathy. They don't care anything about you. You know, you could get hurt, injured, whatever. Okay? Because they don't have the capacity to love. Because wherever that love frequency is, they don't have it anymore. The demon is there taking over. That energy has just erased that. You see? The only thing that this narcissist cares about is survival. And to survive, they need supply. They need supply so they can have a place to live, so they can have food to eat, so they can, whatever their needs are, they want to suck it right out of you. So I hope that you understand the message today and be aware of this type of narcissist. See, it's easier to spot the overt narcissist because he's the one that likes to be on stage. He's the one in command. He's the one, look at me. I'm the greatest. I got it all. I got all the knowledge, the information. You come to me, honor me. That's the overt narcissist. But the covert narcissist is the one standing way back in the shadows. Quiet. Women would look at him and say, oh, he seems like a decent man because he's just there in the shadows, seeming to mind his own business when he's probably there scoping out new supply. Okay? I hope you understand the message today. And I really hope that it helps someone. Now, those of you who may have a question that you'd like for me to answer, my email address is in the description. And if you're looking for today's affirmation, the link is also in the description. I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel. And I also want to thank those of you who have donated to help my adopted family. I appreciate you so very much. Now, I'm going to run this campaign, I know, to the end of this week and maybe into next week. But we're going to be ending soon. But I just wanted to give everyone an opportunity to give to this family because I want to present this from the channel, not just from me, but from the channel, that we care about people and we care about families. So I've chosen one family this year that I wanted to help for the holiday season because, there's so many people out there who don't even have a place to live, much less food to eat. And I just would like to help someone and realize, people, when you give, the universe gives back to you multiple times. So generosity opens the door to blessings. And that's what you want in your life. So give. And I've been asking, just send in the price of a cup of coffee. Everybody pretty much can afford that because I see the Starbucks line wrapped around the corner. It's so long. So just send in that money to help a family who can't even afford to get coffee. So, and if you can't afford that, $1 will help this family. So I thank you so much. And I appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best in happiness. And I really hope to see you next time.